What's going on, everybody? This is your host, MANNYJSTYLE, and we're here at Conversations with Manny J. I have my lovely host, Paz, there.
Hello, everyone.
So I just want to, before I get and introduce this phenomenal individual, just give you a little background and history of how I know this gentleman. We met on Melrose at Melrose Trading Post about now maybe 7-8 years ago. Mm-hmm. And I mean, since then, we've been like tighter than brothers, man. Like, he has a company called Maxwell Dixon, now MD, and he did phenomenal art. And I had just opened up my company here at the Gents Closet, and it was just like, I was like, hey, listen, this is what I got going on, man. I'd love for you to bless this spot with some art. And he came through, he blessed this spot with some art, and he made it and lived it up. And then we started doing events. I did one of his first big events, and we started doing a lot of different events and just became really tight. But this gentleman is so phenomenal. He's got a lot to offer. He's an amazing artist. He's amazing. He has a lot of great things going on all around the world. He has a lot of roots sewn up in Africa. A lot of stuff sewn up in Philly is where he's from. And I'm gonna just give you all a little bit of that information. Without any further ado, let me introduce you to my next host, my next guest, Bart Cooper. What up, B?
I'm happy to be here. Thanks for having me, Manny.
Come on,
It's great to have you, to be here today. And just join you guys and have some fun.
Yeah, definitely. So look, man, so Bart, I want you to just kind of tell the people a little bit about yourself, man. Tell them where you grew up and where you're from and everything.
Born and raised in West Africa, Liberia, and pretty much moved to the States at age 6.
Okay.
And coming to the States, it was like the first place I actually lived was Minnesota.
Okay.
So lived in Minnesota from 1st grade all the way to 4th grade, and then moved to Jersey. Lived in Jersey from 4th grade all the way to, I would say, 7th grade or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Then moved to Pennsylvania, and we did high school there, so living in Pennsylvania area. Mostly grew up in Jersey and Pennsylvania, let's say.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, but your family roots is from Liberia?
Liberia, correct.
Okay, great. And now I know you got some really great history there and everything about in Liberia and everything. How did, growing up in that area shape kind of who you are today as an artist?
Well, growing up in that area, just having those transitions, how it shaped them, it gave me more of a sense of responsibility.
Okay.
And taking advantage of the opportunity given. Because when I kind of came to this country, I came at an age of 6. And right after I came, I would say probably a year or two,
okay,
a civil war broke out in my country.
Oh, wow.
So like, that was like the transition, you know what I'm saying? Just so leaving that country and then like the Civil War and then just, coming to America to start new and seek opportunity and everything like that and just kind of grow. It just gave me more of a sense of like, just a meaning, like, just a drive to take advantage of the opportunity that was given towards me.
When did you start drawing, man?
Age 3.
Okay.
So yeah, so
remember that?
Like, I remember it very clear.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was age 3, and my dad was actually drawing, and then I saw him. I think he did like a portrait or something like that, and then I saw him drawing it, and pretty much just seeing that, I just got fascinated with it, and I was like, yeah, let me try that. So right when he was done, I told him to give me the pencil and the pad, and then I just started sketching from there.
Oh, wow.
So that's where it all started. And I've been drawing since. Yeah.
Wow.
All my life.
So tell me about something about when you're in school. Were you taking art classes, or like how did it help you in school to nourish your craft?
Yeah, the crazy thing about it was I was never really serious about art. because it was just like, I mean, I believe it is a gift because it just came natural. So like I just used to doodle, sketch, you know, same thing when you're in class and everything like that. While the teacher's talking, I'm just like doodling on the pads or something like that. So I was always doing that. Always like great in art and stuff like that when it was like, you know, arts and crafts or something like that. But what was crazy was like I was always getting pushed into the arts, but it wasn't something that I took serious. You know, like teachers even saw that and they were kind of like, yeah, well, draw this and then like, or do this, or, you know, it was just one of those things that was always happening. Or I would just be doodling and then like someone will ask me, oh, I like that. And I'm like giving it away for free, you know, and they're just like, you're just going to give it to them? Yeah, I'll draw another one. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. So I was just giving things away and it was just coming to me naturally. But it was never really something I was like, I want to do this for a living. So I didn't get serious about art till like probably I would say my sophomore year in college. That's when I got serious. I mean high school, sorry.
In high school.
High school, yeah.
Wow.
That's when I got serious.
And I remember when we were talking a while ago, you were saying how like whenever you were getting in trouble in school and you would have your principal, you know, have
Yeah. It was funny. One time when I was in high school, now my mom was very strict on academics and school, you know. So like I was taking like college course classes and all this other kind of stuff. So she was strict on that. Art wasn't really her thing. Right. She just looked at art as like arts and crafts. So like she never took it serious. So when I was in school, like I said, you know, my grades and everything was always pushed upon me. But the funny thing was like as I was in school and stuff like that, the teachers and like the principals and stuff like that would push the art towards me, like where I would get away with stuff. So like getting to the principal, but the teachers were like, I'm studying for like an English test or something like that. Next thing you know, teacher will come and say, oh, or a note will come and send me to the art room. Bart, you need to be in the art, like, you know, the art teacher needs you in there. And I'm like, but we got a test tomorrow. Don't worry about the test. Just go. And I'm kind of like in my head, I knew it wasn't right. But I was kind of like, you know, so it was just like, yeah.
Good thing to take advantage of.
Yeah.
But like, especially when you're in class, I can go to art class.
Yeah, but like, to be honest though, it was one of those things that scared me a little bit because like, you know, it was just one of those, I mean, I did it anyway, but it kind of scared me a little bit because I was kind of like, I kind of was structured, you know what I'm saying? I had a structured foundation. So it's kind of like, I do want to learn these things though. It's not just art, you know, just the stigma of like, you know, when you have a jock in school or something like that and he's like super talented in sports, he gets skipped all the classes and then now he goes to college and he's illiterate. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't want that situation happening to me, even though I was, you know, I could read and all this other kind of stuff, but I wanted to have this kind of information, you know, but just getting pushed to the art class. So like I did that. And then one of the things I was sharing with you with the principal. So one time it was just a bunch of us, and like I said, I was mixed with a bunch of different crowds. So I was with, you know, the jocks because I played sports. I was with kind of the nerd, the brains. I was with every different clique. But one time we were on a bus and we were just like driving, the bus driver was driving and everybody was just like making fun of the bus driver. Now every time we always did that. We clowned him and stuff like that. To this day, he got mad one day and like he stopped the bus and came to the back and started cursing all of us. I don't know what got into me, but I decided to, and I wasn't really like that mouthy type person, but I just decided to go off on him. And then I was just cursing him out, just like, just drive the effing bus and da-da-da-da-da, like just going out. Like, and he was so mad and I was just like, there's nothing you can do about it. Like, you know, like you're a bus driver. You know, what are you going to do? But he wrote down every word. He was like, I'm going to write down every word you said and I'm going to report you, you know, to get you suspended or something like that.
Yeah, to get you in trouble.
Yeah. So he did that and I got called to the office. I got called to the principal's office. So it's just me and the principal sitting in there, and I'm kind of like hot because I didn't want my mom to know nothing about this. So like,
not.
Yeah, it's just one of those things.
Not no.
Yeah.
Not
so
no black
like,
mama.
so like, yeah, like, so I'm already like sweating bullets. I'm like, oh man, like I'm gonna get it. Like, So the principal's there. It's real hot. It's like a hot seat, and he's just like interrogating me, like, so what happened on the the bus drive? And I'm kind of like, I don't know what happened. What did you hear? You know, just giving him, like, not trying to snitch on myself, but he's quiet. He's like, okay. Then he pulls out the letter that the bus driver wrote. And he starts reading the whole paragraph, of quoting every word that I said, cursing everything, like word for word.
Yeah, you went off.
I went off. I'm telling you. I don't even know, like. And every time we did this to this bus driver, he always let it go. But today he was just like, no, this is the final straw. But
Exactly.
he gave the principal wrote down, he read everything. And he was like, well, those are your words. And I'm just like, yeah, you got me. Those are my words. I couldn't really even lie because, like, it was word for word. And then, like, so when he said that, I was like, yeah, it's my word. So I'm just ready for my fate or whatever. And he was like, I tell you what, you see that wall over there? And I was just like, yeah. He's like, it's empty right now. I tell you what, how about you draw something for me on that wall and give it to me? And he just crumbled it, and we'll just forget about all this. And he threw it in the trash. And I was like, and then I just started smiling, and I looked at him, I was like, bet. Bet.
That sounds like a good thing.
Yeah, so he was like, bet. And then, like, I was just like, he was like, yeah, go ahead, get out of here. So I got out of there. But it's funny that I never did the piece. So, like, every time he used to see me in the halls or anything like that, he's like, Bart, when? My wall's still empty. And I start laughing. I'm like, oh, I got busy this week. I'm going to get to it next week. But we just used to make jokes out of it every time we saw each other in the halls and stuff like that. So I never did the art. So yeah, I really should. I think I should look them up.
Look them up and send them a piece.
Send them a piece.
Send them a piece, man.
Yeah,
so that's our cue right there. So listen, we'll be right back. We're going to take a few words and from our sponsors and everything, and give Bart a little break, and we'll be with you in a second.